So Windows ME has a terrible reputation. In fact, you guys voted it as the worst, and by a huge margin. But everyone deserves a second chance, right? Well, I used it in 2024 and had some frustrations. But by the end, I think you might be surprised. So, quick backstory on this PC. I bought this HP Pavilion 533C, which was one of the worst decisions I made, but I digress. Which has an Intel Pentium 4 Northwood chip, a gig of RAM, and inbuilt graphics, which I deemed to be useless, so I bought an even more useless card with the NVIDIA FX 5200, a Creative Sound Blaster 128 sound card, and a 40 gig hard drive. Okay, so if you watched my previous video, you'll know that this PC has no drivers or even mentioned on the entire internet. The FX 5200 is too anemic to do anything, the sound card drivers don't work, and basically I've made a series of bad decisions, but it's whatever. Also, installed XP and 7 on it to jailbreak this iPhone, which by the way, XP works wonderfully on this PC. It's almost as if XP and this PC were built for each other. So the first step was to burn a bootable Windows ME CD, which I downloaded the OEM version because only the OEM copy was bootable on Windows 98. Use Windows 11 to burn a bootable CD, put the CD in, and it skipped right past it. Although a quick BIOS check showed that the CD was the last on the boot priority, so putting it first, hey, it worked. We learned last time that Windows 98 can't really dual boot with Windows NT, at least not with Windows NT installed first. So I formatted the whole drive, and after like an hour of setup, we're at the desktop. Although to be honest, if someone hadn't told me that this is not Windows 98, I would have a hard time telling them apart. It looks basically the same. And even worse, Microsoft released Windows 2000 just a few months earlier, which looked the exact same, but was based on a completely different kernel, more akin to Windows XP. Talk about milking a brand. So next we need to install drivers. We've already been through all the trials with Windows 98, so I have all the drivers ready on this flash drive. But in Windows 98, we have to install the USB drivers first, which is not the case for Windows ME. It have USB support, baby. That's a new feature. So we can just plug in this flash drive. And we also know that we need to install the chipset drivers before the graphics drivers, because, well, that happened. So ran the chipset setup, then the graphics card setup, and we're at the desktop at 1080p. Cool. So what's new in Windows ME? That's a great question, because it looks the same, but there are a few differences here. Like, we no longer have real mode DOS. That's actually a lack of feature. I wasn't planning on using it. But ME is the first Windows edition to introduce automatic updates. Yeah. Although it doesn't work anymore, because it's more than 23 years old. And neither does Legacy Update, because it's only for NT-based systems. There's Image Viewer, which I didn't know didn't exist before. And most importantly, we have the introduction of Windows Movie Maker. Okay, so last time I did everything to install the sound card drivers to no avail. I even bought this Creative Sound Blaster card, but for the life of me, the sound would not work. And it's the same here on Windows ME. Also, last time I didn't really bother installing Ethernet drivers because, well, I didn't know what Ethernet drivers we needed. So I looked up drivers, and after a short setup, bam, we have internet. You just have to not pick dial-up and say that I'm using LAN. But you can't really load anything except Google. There are ways to get modern websites to sort of work, but unlike XP, they require heavy modification to the system itself. Alright, now we get to installing games. The hardest part is actually finding original unmodified copies for DOS. So first up is GTA 3, which came out in 2001. I found a CD ISO, burned it onto 2 CDs, and the setup was pretty much hassle-free. Next was Need for Speed Porsche Unleashed, which I found multiple copies online, but for the life of me, I could not get it running. I always loved Midtown Madness as a kid, so I found a copy on the archives. And lastly, Quake 3, which is a classic, so I burned it onto a CD, and it works. Alright, so now let's get to using Windows ME. Computer's down here, so, whoops, no power. There we go. Here we are at the Windows ME desktop. We have like where is that sky background that like we always associate with Windows 98? We do have a few games. Also, we do have internet, like I said, although no websites are actually gonna load, except for Google. I don't know how Google keeps loading. You see, Google loads. But anything else is not going to like interesting. Also, we didn't hear the startup sound, but just for reference, that's what the startup sounds like. Dude, my computer used to be so freaking simple. Like, so you can, I don't know if you can hear the computer like go crazy down there. There really isn't much more to explore here. We have like a Windows Update, which it's not gonna work. Okay, well, let's start off with the games, shall we? Start off with Midtown Madness. Whoopsie daisy. Are we having resolution problems? Right, okay, we'll be back. Okay, so change of plan, we're gonna use this setup. This is the capture card, I don't know, it is a $20 capture card. Improvise, adapt, overcome. Alright, let's go back to Midtown Madness. Alright. I don't know what happened to the freaking intro. There's supposed to be an intro. Quick race, let's see. I don't remember the progression on this game, but this was always my car. I never really progressed in this game. As a child, allow it. Let's go drive. Whee! What? Oh, stop. What? Ah! I would always try to run over the pedestrians, and for the life of me, I could not run them over. They're so fast! Too freaking fast, bro. Those are all some wild physics. And bro, they're so fast. I just wanted the satisfaction to cut that. Ah! What the frick? Is there vehicle damage? Is my car getting slower? I feel like it's getting more unresponsive. Or I'm just getting worse at driving. Ah! Damn it. Oh, frick. Dude, I swear to God, I'm a good driver, yeah. But like, did I win? What happened? Exit the windows. Okay, so up next is GTA 3. I don't know if you actually need the CD to play the game, but let's wait for the disc to spin up. The only problem is the resolution. Dum, 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 dum. Bad luck with the sound card drivers, damn it. GTA always had pizzazz, you know what I'm saying? Like, that style. Look at this. Let's try skipping it. Alright. Oh, game, start. New game. Imagine, yeah, this shit was cutting edge in 2001. Man got betrayed by his girlfriend. Imagine. Careful who you love. Whoa, why did the FPS just tank? Like, what the hell? The FPS is tanking every time there's a camera angle change. I have never actually played GTA 3, by the way. Like, as a kid, I played GTA Vice City. Look how blocky everything looks. This is so crazy. Like, in 20 years, the leaps we took with this compared to the GTA 6 trailer, we got twerk physics now. Imagine some guy has to, like, sit there and, like, mathematically calculate the physics of twerking. It's so haram. Oh my God, why is the FPS tanking so much? What the hell? This is what I mean by the freaking graphics card. Like, it's from like 2003, like after this game released, but it's still so shit. Oh my God, frick, dude. I think we might have to go lower on the graphics. Yeah, definitely can't game at 720p. Oh my God, freaking kidding me, dude. We definitely do need to downgrade the graphics because that is too slow. So we'll be back. Technical difficulties again. Alright, let's retry this. 480p. That's what we're gonna. I don't think this computer can take more than that. Look how pixelated everything looks. Oh dear. That still doesn't look playable, not gonna lie. Oh my God. That is horrible. I would not call this playable. God damn it. I did Midtown. Whoa! Frick. I didn't mean to run her over. How the frick did Midtown Madness work so much better? Just crash. I guess GTA 3 is not playable. It's just dead. Okay, after one restart, we're back at the desktop. Try Quake 3. Actually, does this work without the CD? Oh wait, it does work without the CD. By the way, my understanding is that Quake 3 is supposed to be like a multiplayer game. Not really built for single player. But, you know, okay, it does need the CD. Alright then. Why the hell did it start? I guess there is some data on the CD. These graphics look alright. Yeah? Well, frick. Ah, am I... No, I don't want to die. Okay, yeah, this is definitely supposed to be a multiplayer game though. Not meant to be single player. Also, let me just warn you that I'm not good at first-person shooters. My talents lie in driving games. Ah! Damn it! This would have been fun back in the day. Hey, I placed first. Yes! Okay, so Windows ME was a pleasant surprise. After all the hype of it being so utterly terrible, I found it to be no worse than Windows 98. We had a lot of problems with 98. Although, to be fair, we learned a lot from Windows 98 as well, so this time I was prepared. But even still, like the USB just natively working, that was so useful. Saved me another CD. We might have just gotten lucky with this configuration though. Perhaps we have the right set of components that made it much easier to use. But I got more blue screens on Windows 98 than I ever did on ME. Even at the time, reviews weren't overly negative, just kind of mixed. Does it offer much over Windows 98? No, not really. Definitely wouldn't be worth it in the year 2000. But like Vista, I found it to be not half bad. So far, the only OS that was as bad as advertised was Windows 8. Actually, it was worse. It was way worse.